So now we're going to get into Mackenzie Standifer, you guys. Apparently, she is in a full-blown relationship with a married man, and not just any married man, but her own ex-friend's husband. So they were friends up until the friend saw her there in matching sunglasses with her damn husband. This lady's name is Amber Luckhart. Okay. And so she posted this on her Facebook page saying, "Happy 4th of July from my husband," but that's not me in the car. And obviously, listen, longtime Teen Mom fans know that cross tattoo anywhere, right? And that is none other than Mackenzie Standifer. Mackenzie, what are you doing? We were rooting for you post Ryan. We were all rooting for you. How could you do this to us, right? And so apparently the husband got into the comment section to try and defend himself, and the wife, was trolling him over that, which I found to be rather hilarious. I really, really feel for her. I can't imagine going through this with such young children, and the mistress being none other than a friend of yours too. Like, really? You heard all of the gossip that I was giving you about this man. Like, you heard me crying everything about this man, and you came and tried to snatch him up. That's crazy. There was a comment here that made me laugh. It's from Yenny. And she says, "Wow, she's about to write you a letter in a few weeks blaming you for not telling her that man was still married." This is obviously in reference to that time that Mackenzie, who had been living with Ryan at the time, and I believe she might have even had a child with Ryan at the time, where she sat up there on stage and blamed Macy for Ryan's addiction and her not knowing that Ryan was an addict, which is just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? There were a few other comments as well that led to more information being spilled, okay? So there's somebody here, JC, who pointed out that Mackenzie had actually even liked a prior post in which the husband was wishing the wife, Amber, a happy Mother's Day, right? Like, people are so creepy, y'all. They really, really are. You got to be careful. No matter how close you are with somebody, do not ever put a single thing past them, especially a desperate person who would go ahead and marry a strung out, very obviously strung out, right, behind the wheel. That type of woman, black widows like that, they would stop at nothing to have a man, any man, even your man. So be very, very careful. Look, Amber looks like she could whoop some ass. She sounds like she could whoop some ass. So if I were, or like she's got some cousins ready to throw down for her. So if I were Mackenzie Standifer, I would be very, very careful. She also says that he's been out of the house for a week officially as of now. And apparently this has been going on for, what does this say? This has been going on for a while. I'm getting more proof. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her continue to share some more proof. I'm trying to send her a DM on Facebook to ask her if she wants to talk about it on my channel, but I don't know how to do that from my Facebook page, right? I've got my personal Facebook, but I want to do it from my Facebook page. So I'm going to try and see how I could do that, and if she would be willing to come and share some more information with us about this entire situation, because I've got 1,000,001 questions. Mackenzie, you went through infidelity in your relationship and your marriage to Ryan Edwards. So why would you, as a former victim of infidelity, turn around and do this to another woman, especially a friend, especially when your friend and her husband have very young children together? Obviously, I am not going to be posting a photo of their children. However, on her Facebook profile, she posted photos of herself and her children enjoying the 4th of July fireworks, and they look like they're about 5 years old or something like that. Very, very young children. So very devastating to see that. Mackenzie, y'all know how I feel about these kinds of trifling women, right? Like, I'm sorry, but you've got to be like the biggest loser on the planet to go after your friend's man and your friend's man while they've got kids together and stuff. Very young kids, just very gross, but I digress. And apparently it even said that he was married on his profile. And so Amber says, listen, F the profile. She knew us in real life. We were friends. I welcomed her into my home. This isn't her first married man. She's a public figure. She'll be known. So these are the kinds of questions that I want to ask Amber. Like, okay, well, if this is not her first married man, what number is this? Like, who are the other married men? Like, what is this deal? And this is the thing, Amber, and it's not to judge you, but this is why you guys know my story. Like my first ever friend here in Paris, and this is like this was back when I didn't speak French, right? So I would be studying, before meeting with her because she only spoke French, right? And I, of course, wanted to learn French. Like I would study everything just to hang out with this girl. Like she had a history of dating married men. And so I had to cut this friendship off because I'm not going to be friends with somebody who thinks it's okay to do this, right? And it's like, forget what could happen to me, in a relationship with somebody like this, just in general, out of principle. This is why, you should not hang out with people who do not share the same values as you, like important values anyway. Of course, there are, different variables, who cares? But when it comes to like ethical, moral things like screwing and dating married men, especially like, when they live in homes with young children and whatnot, like, do not get around those kinds of girls. They do not have boundaries. They will do it to you too, right? So to me, I feel sad and I feel bad for Amber, but at the same time, you knew what type of girl Mackenzie was, apparently, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's just finding out after the fact. Other wives who's been, had their lives like destroyed by Mackenzie and her coochie have come to her, right? But like, if you knew already that this was a woman who thought it was perfectly okay and normal to be, sleeping and dating with married men, you should have taken that as a warning sign, in my personal opinion. I don't know. Maybe you guys feel differently, okay? So let me go ahead, enter the chat and see what y'all have to say. Listen, why don't I go ahead and drop a call-in link? It's been a while, right, since I've had you guys call in. So if you guys want to call in with your thoughts, feel free. I'm going to post the link right here in the comment section. Hey, Court. Court says, I'm still on Mackenzie's side when it comes to Ryan on all that. You don't have to be a good person to not deserve ABUSC. And I agree, but still, I was rooting for her to just live a better life, right, after the Ryan thing. But now to hear that, like, this is what she's up to with her friend's husband, oh, God, no. I've been husband more too, but still, that's your friend. This is not a stranger, right? Like, that is so damn sad. Like, that's gross. It's weird. Like, why would you do that to your friend? Why would you do that to your friend's children? Like, you've been in their house. Like, ew, they're both like just so, oh my God. I really hope that she ends this relationship because this is not okay at all. And right, Ashley, like, I'm so freaking disappointed. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Huckleberry. Nice to see you guys. Acacia says, Mackenzie is trash. Weight shaming that woman. She weight shamed her? Oh, I didn't see that. Oh God, that's nasty. After she had 3 kids, did Mackenzie forget what she looked like before the money? Damn, Mackenzie, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Lauren says, wasn't the last guy she was with after Ryan married too? I think that was right after Ryan trashed the house. I remember hearing that she had a boyfriend, but I don't remember any kinds of like particular details about this boyfriend, unfortunately, right? Wasn't Max still married? And you know what? Here's the thing. Mac is technically still married to Ryan. They did file the divorce and everything, but it was dismissed, but she's technically still married too. So I'm wondering if that's going to be her excuse that, oh, like my friend and her husband, they're only married on paper, but still girl code, you weirdo. Like, ew, who goes for their friend's man? Gross. Good morning, Amelia Bedelia. Star says, I found out I was dating a married man 2 years in. I ended up getting $500 for a fake abortion and leaving. Listen. You're from around the way. You're leaving here with something, boo. See, that's the thing. It's one thing to not know that you're out dating a married man, right? Y'all remember that story of the guy I met salsa dancing at Le Comptoir Général, and he got me those fake Cartier glasses for the first date? Fartier. I went on one date with him, right? Thinking that he was a single man, because why would a married man ask me on a date, right? So I go on this date, and he starts, like an hour in or something, he casually starts complaining about his wife. I said, wife? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I'm married. And he talks about his 3 kids. 3 kids, the fuck? Like, yeah, that's one thing. But like Mackenzie knew that this man was married because she was friends with him and his wife. Like she has no excuse. She's desperate, right, BR? Right, and still wrong for his abuse of Mackenzie and the kids, but in this situation, she's dead wrong. Period. Honestly, she and that man should both be absolutely ashamed of themselves. This is not okay at all. She moves funny. Honestly, like she's a weirdo in general. Just looking at the trajectory that her life has taken and stuff, like she needs, in my opinion, like very serious intensive therapy to make better choices moving forward, because she's just, I don't know, she makes destructive choices, right? Wasn't she like knocked up at 15, 16, then she got married underage, and she got divorced, and she decided to get with a crackhead, marry him, and then she was dating that random guy while she's still fresh off of what was happening with Ryan. Now here she is with her friend's husband. It's a lot, right? It is a lot. It is just, relax, slow down, Savannah. Like you've got young kids to look after now. So you need to chillax, and you need to think about them and their safety as well. Listen, I used to love watching Snapped, right? And these are the kinds of stories that would be very, very popular on that show. Crimes of passion, right? The mistress, the man, like the wife sometimes would roll up on the two of them and pop, 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 everybody, right? Like you cannot play with people's emotions, y'all. You can't, right? So this is a mess. It's a mess. Heather says Mackenzie's married and he's also married, so they're both to blame, right? They're just both yuck for this. They really are. And I agree, FBI, keep your legs close to married men and finalize your damn divorce, girl. You've been trying to get this divorce for like 2 years. Get the divorce, worry about that, then move on with your damn life. Anyway, what a mess. That's so embarrassing. It is, right? And exactly, right? Once we saw the way that the way that she was so desperate to marry Ryan that she, was hammering full speed ahead for that, the sidewalk wedding marriage that he couldn't even legally consent to because he was high out of his mind. I knew, listen, I called her the Black Widow for a reason, right? This is a very, very vicious woman who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. And it's disturbing. And I agree. Listen, what kind of attention is this that you want to have? Like, this is not a good reputation to build for yourself, Mackenzie. This is not going to help your party planning business. Is she still doing that, by the way, party planning or something like that? I don't know, but